How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. We are taking a look at VeChain today and why it would make sense to buy about 93,000 VeChain today. Now, I've done this in the past with Ethereum and Cardano and Bitcoin, and people seem to like it. So we're going to take a look at what it would take to become rich in VeChain with VeChain, what that would look like in terms of what you would need today if you want a dollar cost average over time, why people like VeChain in the first place, and what this all means for your portfolio and what you should be doing. Now, of course, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just someone that likes talking about crypto, likes looking at the big picture and where these investments could be years down the line based on the data we have now. With that being said, we do have to take some assumptions into play because I don't have a crystal ball. I can't tell you VeChain is going to be this price at this day. But we can make some estimations, make some predictions, and make them educated. So first of all, if you don't know what VeChain is, it is a cryptocurrency that is really focused on the supply chain and bringing transparency to it. They are a company that has very strong ties and has a lot of practical use applications. So first of all, you have to know, they have a two-token system, VeChain and VeThor. VeThor is kind of the gas fees, right? They are the tokens that are used for gas and different transactions, while VeChain is the one that is actually holding a lot of the value. So we are going to take a look at what are the partnerships and all that, looking at the price predictions and what you would need to become rich here in a second. But if you guys don't mind hitting that like button, I really appreciate that. A lot of these videos don't actually get pushed out to even all my own subscribers, which is crazy. So if you guys don't mind just hitting the like button, it really helps out the channel. In addition to that, if you guys want, there are a couple links down there to get some free money. Check out BlockFi, where you can get an interest rate on your cryptocurrency, and they're coming out with a Bitcoin rewards card here soon. So definitely check that out down in the comment section and down in the description. So, like I said, VeChain is working with supply chain. Why is that important? Well, we know that global supply chain is growing very quickly. You can see this graph here on how big the market's going to grow by 2027, but this is before the pandemic. I think this is going to grow much quicker than people thought because it's much more important to know where your products are coming from. It's much more important to get them there on time than ever, right? We know that there are competitors like Amazon that are willing to give 1-day shipping, 2-day shipping. We know that there's a lot of focus on temperature, on products, and making sure everything is on the up and up. And we've seen what can happen when you don't have a good supply chain or when the supply chain is impacted. When we saw the ship get stuck in the Suez Canal, $9 billion each day was halted in global trade. So this can be a huge problem if something is thrown off in the global supply chain. Now again, we have to just get a little bit of this background, then we'll dive into the fun numbers. Now, what is VeChain doing? Well, it is partnering with a lot of different companies, a lot of different organizations, and we'll run through them. They're quite impressive. And they are partnering with them to help their supply chain help in a variety of different ways. So this is just one piece of news recently. Built on VeChain Thor, VTrust is now adopted by local Chinese government, helping 300,000 plus citizens return to normalcy. So this is just from a few days ago. They are very well connected in a variety of ways, and one of them is with the Chinese government. They actually work with the Chinese government. Now I know what you're thinking, right? You might be worried. Some people are worried when they hear someone's working with the Chinese, but I don't specifically think that that has a problem or that makes them a problem to invest in. They are crypto, so they're very open about their project. If you go look at their website, they have a white paper that is very long, very detailed, and I think that there's a big difference between something like a crypto, something that uses different apps to help different organizations, compared to maybe a company based out of China that is helping with all this. I think it's very different, cryptos versus stocks, in that way. Now, you can see this is a big partnership. Let's look at some of the other partnerships because it's not just China that we're looking at. DNVGL is a global operating company that provides audit and certification services confirming for an organization, then organization meets certain requirements. So $2.4 billion worth of revenue, 13,000 employees. PricewaterhouseCoopers, 236,000 employees, 38 billion in revenue. So you can see what they do. They will provide DNVGL will provide VeChain's blockchain powered services to their huge customer base. PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, will offer VeChain's blockchain powered solutions to its client base. National Research Consulting Center, consulting out of China. VeChain has developed and implemented anti-counterfeiting technology for the Chinese national tobacco corporations. That's awesome, right? I mean, they do this, they kind of got set up because there were rip-offs of some types of goods, so they wanted to supply, or they wanted to have extra transparency in the blockchain. So this is another Chinese company, real estate, the biggest, one of Chinese biggest real estate developers focused on developing industrial parks. They're helping implement the blockchain in its current technology portfolio used in projects like energy management, renewable energy, smart grids, green buildings, and smart media facilities. BitOcean, ATMs. We also have China national level partnership, right? They are partnered with a lot of big companies, wine importers, China Unicorn Unicom, telecommunications operator. This is one, possibly the largest ones here, the world's largest global freight forwarder. There are so many different companies that use it, and we could go down the line. BMW, Renault. We could continue and continue and continue with what they are doing and what they're helping with. But I think we can see that there is a big use case for this. Now, where are they sitting now? Well, they are one of the largest cryptocurrencies. They're in the top 25 here. Market cap is about 5.6 billion. Price is about 0.087 cents. So on a token basis, it's pretty cheap, but the market cap is pretty large. So let's take a look at how you could actually become rich. So right now, this was the price just a few minutes ago, 0.0883. Okay, so we can start moving from here. In 2021, if we have Bitcoin hit $100,000, now I realize some people think this is too high, some people think it's too low. I'm just using it. You can change the date. It could be 2022, 2023, whatever. Whatever the case may be, Bitcoin hits $100,000. Let's say Ethereum, a lot of people think that it's going to actually eclipse Bitcoin at some point. It hits 16,000. I don't think this is crazy to think in the next few years this could happen, especially with all the mass adoption. These would still have market caps under $2 trillion. So, I mean, still smaller than the largest companies out there and smaller than the gold market by a factor of 5 each, or 6 or 7. So still a pretty small market cap compared to gold and some of these other companies. Cash to become a millionaire. Okay, we can look at Bitcoin. We can look at Ethereum, how much it would take. I think it's pretty easy to say that, hey, if Bitcoin hits a $2 trillion market cap, we could see something like VeChain move up quicker than Bitcoin, move up quicker than Ethereum. There would be a lot of excitement about the crypto space. And I think VeChain would be an easy thing for a lot of people to want to invest in because they have so many big partnerships. They seem a lot more like a company than some of these other cryptocurrencies. They seem like something that you could wrap your head around a lot easier. You can see the use case. You can understand it as someone that maybe isn't as crypto native or doesn't understand crypto as much. So I think it could move up. Also, you'd only need to put a much smaller amount in the in VeChain to actually have the market cap go up $50 billion. So it kind of makes sense that, hey, this could move up a little bit faster. So I am saying that if this were the case, of course, anything can happen. VeChain could go down 50% throughout the rest of 2021 and 2022. Who knows? But if this were to happen, we could see a $56 billion market cap for VeChain, which put them right under $1. So to become a millionaire, you need $100,000 or about 1.13 million VeChain. Now that's not very fun. That is a lot of money for most people. So what can we do if we want to dollar cost average over time? What could it look like maybe 10 years from now instead of a year from now, right? Because we need to get a lot of money very quickly. Obviously, that's still a great return if you can 10x your investments in a year or 2 or 3 or even 5 or 10 years. That's awesome. But again, like I said, that's very difficult for most people. So let's say it's 2025 or 2030. Bitcoin just passed $1 million. It is about 1.5 times the size of gold. We have ETFs, we have mass adoption, we have institutions that are using it as part of their investment thesis and part of their investment portfolios. We have companies putting some of their cash in Bitcoin. I think we could easily hit $1 million, maybe not easily, but we could hit $1 million if most of the S&P 500 companies just put in 5 to 10% of their cash in Bitcoin, and then some hedge funds also put some of their investments in Bitcoin also. I think it's very possible. Then, of course, if Ethereum is the same market cap, this is, again, years down the road, we would have mass adoption for Ethereum. And then VeChain. Okay, how high could VeChain go? Well, again, I think this would also push VeChain up. A rising tide raises all ships, right? VeChain, again, is easy to understand for most people. It's easy to see in practice. It's easy to see their partnerships. I think, again, just saying this could hit a pretty high market cap. I mean, it's a $6 billion token right now. Could we see a 600 billion? Maybe. Like I said, it has practical use implications and it's easy to understand. Now, of course, like I said, anything could be the case, right? This could be 2040, this could be 2025, who knows? There's going to have to be a lot of mass adoption for this to happen, but we have to put some number on it. So if we hit $8.83, you would only need $10,000 in it right now, which would be about 113,000 VeChain. Now let's start going down the line, right? Let's start looking at what this means, how you would dollar cost average into this. Okay, so 2021, if you can invest just $100 a month, and then it equally goes up every single year, it's probably going to be exponential, but let's say it goes up equally at each year, right? So about 80 cents, 90 cents a year for 10 years. This is how much you can buy based on your $1,200. You get staking. So in case you guys want to check out, you can actually earn extra VeChain, or actually you earn VeThor, I believe. So you can get it on Binance. If you want, you can get between 1 and 3%. I'll put a link underneath the video and in the comments if you want that, but you can gain it for free. All you have to do is hold it on their platform. You don't even have to press any buttons after it's on there. You can just buy it on their platform. So you can get 2% a year. So you put in $100 a month for 10 years. You would have invested $12,000. The value would be worth about $182,000. Your passive income would be about $3,600 a year, assuming, again, 2% a year. So that's pretty good. For a lot of people, that would be awesome, right? If you could just get 200 grand in 10 years, that's amazing. That's an amazing return, 15x. But what if you want more than that? What if you want more? What if you want to become a little bit richer? Let's take a look here at what it would take. So if you started and you wanted to kind of supercharge it, you put in $2,400 the first year. So you're getting the most bang for your buck. I mean, look, you're buying 27,000 as opposed to 1,200 because of the price going up so much. So you are able to turbocharge this, and then you put in, again, $100 per month for the next 9 years. Total invested would only be slightly higher, about $13,200, but you would have nearly double the value at the end. Passive income would double. But what if you want to become a millionaire? What if you want to make this as efficient as possible? What would you do? Would you invest it all at the beginning? Would you put more money in the first few years? Well, again, if you could make it as efficient as possible, you'd want to invest all of it up front because the price is lower. Now, I like dollar cost averaging, right? I'm just saying if we go into this exponential growth over the next year and VeChain 10x's, 11x's, it would make way more sense to invest all of it now. But if we see a depressed amount of the price, a depressed price, let's say it goes down to 0.05, you'd only need almost half what you're putting in here. So instead of $8,000, it could be $5,000. So Of course, we don't know the price, but assuming it's going to go up in this fashion, you would need about $8,100 right now if you could to add to this. That would mean that if you were able to get that $8,200 in here, you would buy about 93,000 vet staking rewards. You could get about 1,800 per year. This would increase over time because it stacks on itself. And after 10 years, assuming it got to $8.83, you would have invested just that $8,200. And the value would be $1 million. You'd be making about $20,000 a year. So again, we don't know where this will be in the future, but I really like the cryptocurrency. I know a lot of other people do. I think it's easy to see the practical implications of what they do and the use case. And you would only need about $8,200 today to become a millionaire in the future. Now, personally, I have my investments spread out between Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, BNB. There are a handful of different cryptos, but I do have some money in VeChain. Now, I do not have $8,200 in it right now, but I would love to grow this over time. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. None of this is financial advice. Always do your own research, but thank you guys. And if you want to check out the links down below to BlockFi to get an interest rate on your crypto, or Binance in case you want to start staking some VeChain, you can check those out down below. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.